Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another movie review. And this movie was brought to me by BET Plus called Incision. They just dropped it. So it starts off with this girl in this, I would say, plastic room, and then this doctor is talking about how he's gonna turn everybody in on what's really going on, and before he can do so, he ends up getting shot point blank. And then next you know, there's a knock on the door, and three girls come in, and they just start cleaning up the place. And she ends up taking a white box off the bed and leaves. So at this point, she now arrives at this big warehouse place. Coming to find out, the dude's name is Winston, and she has to get through certain she has to get through the place if she with a code or whatever. So she bypasses the security guard. Then she gets to the guy that's on the elevator. Next, you know, he hands her a gift, and then she hands him the white box. So come to find out, Winston is this guy who's basically selling illegal organs from people. I don't know how the heck they set it up, but they do. So fast forward one night, this girl, she's basically has this dude, and she's saying like she's dressing like a bride outfit, and she was like, listen, help him, help him, help him, help him. She drives to one place, hospital, but there was two like cops and stuff outside, so she was like, nah, let me run to someone that's less quiet. So she ended up arriving to this hospital, Mercy Hospital, and everybody starts running in and helping him, and then they end up coming across this doctor, Dr. Pierce, and Dr. Grant, and they was basically trying to save him. Come to find out he couldn't be saved, so he ended up dying at 2:45 in the morning. Next you know, she goes to the bathroom. Well, after she said her goodbye, she goes down to the morgue to see what really happened. Dr. Grant is there, was like, I see you here down to your apologies or whatever. So she started like losing it at the same point, at the same time, her own sister, Crystal, she's laying in the hospital bed as well. And she starts noticing these things, and she starts putting them together. Her sister had this type of tattoo, and and Dr. Pierce is trying to figure it out. She starts getting crazy, a little frazzled. She's knocking stuff over. So she's going to the bathroom after that point because she done spilt some stuff on the floor in her room. And Dr. Grant was like, go ahead, it's all right, it's okay, I'll clean it up. So Dr. Pierce gets to the bathroom. She knows she has this card in her pocket. She ends up calling it. It gets wet, but she ends up wiping it off with the water and stuff like that, her badge and stuff. So she calls the number, and they basically tell her, you got an appointment tomorrow at 2 p.m. And say, I'm going to text you everything at the phone number you're calling. She was just like, hello, hello. They already clicked off the phone. Next, you know, she arrives at this place. It's like a big warehouse or whatever. And she's like giving all the spooky vibes, but it's at the same time she's still interested and intrigued because she really don't know what's happening or what she's really applying for. So she gets there. She goes to the people and everything. They end up taking her upstairs. Then she finally meets Winston. Winston's telling her, like, listen, you're basically on call when I need you at nighttime and no questions asked. So I don't want to hear nothing out this. You're listen, you're going to take one of these bags when you leave. Because at the same time, she's scanning the room and she sees all these organs and stuff. And she's not paying it no mind. At the same time, he's on a phone call. And yeah, things go left. So it's now the time for her to do her job. So she ends up meeting up with one of her friends, Nico, at the bar at the supposed location. And she's not putting it together, but she's also relaying information to Nico to help her figure out what's wrong with her sister, and why does she have like this particular tattoo and stuff like that. So you know, the night goes on. He leaves. This guy comes in hardcore with his little briefcase, and he goes to the bar and asks the owner for a double shot of vodka. He pays him some money. He asks for some more. She gives him more money, so like that. And the next you know, he was like, I'm asking for this girl named Crystal. And then I guess, you know, everything starts to go into order. So he ended up going to the room in the hotel, and he starts placing his guns and stuff around so that, you know, to protect herself. So next thing you know, like 10 minutes later, some girl knocks on the door. Come to find out it's this girl named Gia. And she basically was trying to seduce him, dance for him and stuff like that. So, you know, some people, they have an intuition, but they still want to go with the flow to see where it's going. So that's just what happens. Next you know, it's, damn, he's already drunk and stuff like that. So she ended up pulling his pants down as if she was going to do him. And she ended up stabbing him with something. And it basically comatose him down to the floor or whatever and knocked him out. Next you know, somebody knocks on the door. And it just so happens to be Dr. Pierce, London. So she was like, Gia? Come to find out, London used to babysit Gia when she was younger. So, of course, everything is so coincided, but she's not putting it together. Like, what the heck? How did you get involved in this situation? Stuff like that. So, at this time, the girl done got her bag, told her, listen, it's time for you to take out this guy's kidneys and do what you gotta do. And she places on the bed. She starts cutting it. At first, she doesn't want to, but, you know, Gia threatened her with a gun and told her, like, listen, if you don't do this, winter's going to come after us, and we don't want that. So she was still hesitant, but she was basically scared for her life at the same time. And it's just like, girl, do what you gotta do, and there won't be no problem. So eventually, after the hesitation wore off, whatever, she ended up taking out one. Come to find out, she had to take out another one. So she said, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And she ended up taking out another one. Then she was like, sewing him back up again. And Gia was like, no, we need the heart too. No, she wasn't doing that at all. And then next, you know, Gia ends up going into the bathroom. She ends up getting high, shooting herself with a needle. And, London, she gets up and goes to the bathroom because she's thinking the man is still like comatose or whatever. She goes to the bathroom to check on Gia and realized that she like kind of overdosed, so she ended up turning on the shower to like get her to come to. And then when Gia woke up, she was like, oh my God, you messed up my high. Like, oh my God. Then they come out the bathroom. Next thing you know, they notice that the man is gone. Them not realizing that the dude is done, that he done ran out the room or whatever the case may be. They go looking for him. And they end up shooting this other guy. Well, Gia ends up tasing him and making him knock over his ice or whatever. So at this point, London is taking a picture of the guy and whatever on the floor and sending text messages to Nico telling him, like, listen, we need to get the police involved and stuff like that. And it was just like, nah, Gia was like, no, it's not going to happen. She ended up taking her phone, telling us, if you do this, you're as good as dead at me, you, and your sister's dead. Like, listen, let's fire him. So let's split up and stuff like that. So at the same time, Gia goes up the stairs to come around to the other side. And she ended up running to this drunk man. And she basically asks, the drunk man asks, can he help her out? And she was like, sure. He ends up going into the dumpster to try to find the man. And then she was like, he was like, so when you going to do me a blow? And she was like, tasing him, and he fell back in there. So come to find out, they go back, the cleaning crew come back in there. And they put all the plastic up so they basically could find this man. They was like, oh, our job is going to be easy tonight. Long story short, the dude was hiding underneath the bed. He ends up shooting the three cleaning girls at the same time. London has to go back in because she ended up losing her badge, and she realized, like, oh my God, it must have fell off. So she gets into the room. She goes to find her badge. At the same time, dude is coming up. It was like, listen, don't shoot, whatever. She's so scared or whatever. And then he was like, what happened to me? And she was like, I don't know, don't kill me, don't kill me. So he figured out all the information with the help of Gia. So he ended up going back to the bar where everything like kind of transpired. And he tells him like, what really happened to me? And he couldn't tell him, so he ended up shooting the bartender in the head. He finds the dude's phone, figured out like, figure out where Gia actually lives, and he realized that he's been going there every day at this time. And they go with the help of London. London helps Blake gets to the place, and everybody put out an APB that everything, like, stuff was going on. That there was a shooting at the hotel, shooting at the bar, then there's a now shooting at the girl's place. Blake done shot, mind you, he's basically dying because he don't have no kidneys. He still has a heart. So with the help of London, she was able to give him some EpiPens, AB negative, so that he can keep his body going. and function, even though it's temporarily, it's still better than nothing. So they get to Gia's house. They start going in. It was too loud at first, and then as soon as they broke into her house, the music cut off. So she already assumed like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? How did people get to my house? Nobody knows where I live. So she basically shoots herself up out of the bathroom. They in her room, mind you, and being low and cautious. And basically, he want his organs back. And she was like, no, they're already sold. So with the help of London, they was able to like subdue her, stabbed her in the foot, give him an EpiPen to bring him back to life. She ended up getting shot in the butt. And then London grabbed some of her items so that she can basically help Blake figure out what's going on. And stabbed Gia with something in her arm to paralyze her. So by the time the cops get there, you know, it is what it is. So they end up leaving. They go on. They heading to the warehouse. By this time, London done changed her clothes or whatever, so she looks like Gia. So they pull up to the warehouse. Dude is in the back with all his EpiPen and stuff like that, so they could case out the place to see what was going on. London ended up going in the front to where Winston was, and things just started going crazy. Blake single-handedly put out everybody in the crew so far, and it was like a crazy show. London and Pierce, long story short, was able to subdue everybody in the daggone place. Also, she realized with the help of the girl Melissa at the beginning of the movie, showed that, listen, look at the picture. And she put two and together. The three people was in the picture was Winston, the cop, and her doctor friend, Dr. Grant. So now she was like, okay, bet, we gonna do this. So she ends up taking Blake to the Grant clinic where Nika was there to help, and then she goes to the head hospital, Grant Hospital, and she sees Dr. Grant leaving, and she was like, "Listen, I'll buy you a drink." She was like, "Okay, whatever." So next thing you know, Dr. Grant gets in the car with London. London heads to the clinic, and she's like, "I'm gonna need your badge to open it." So long story short, London wants Dr. Grant to put one of her kidneys inside Blake because they both have the same blood type. So if you don't do it, I'm going to tell the police. At the same time, you got Nick outside the door recording so that, you know, we got documentation. So by this time, the cop that was in the picture with Dr. Grant, he's now at the place. And it's just like, okay, how you know all this information, but you're not doing nothing about it. But his cop friend's not really putting it together either. So she's basically collecting the clues and stuff like that. He was like, let's go to the office, collect some more clues and stuff like that. So fast forward, the cop, he done took the ring off of Winston, put it on his finger, tear up himself out the picture, and basically is gonna take over what Winston started. Now Dr. Pierce, London, she now does mission work in South Africa, still trying to help take care of these people. Her sister recovered. Blake lived long too. They're now a couple, married and whatever. And they still eventually gonna go through and try to get all these people that's involved in those legal organ donors out and move forward from there. So he was like, listen, Blake was like, if you ever need anything, just let them know that you call the Grim Reaper. And she was like, okay. And they hugged and left. And he was like, oh, that's cool. It's all right. We're already here. This movie was wicked, crazy. I really thought that everybody that was involved was going to go down, but I guess not. Hopefully they make a part 2 to this because I definitely want to see it. I was very intrigued. Wasn't expecting it to go the way that it did, but it did. But it was great. Yeah, definitely got to check it out. It's on BET Plus, but you know how y'all do. Y'all can wait till it get on BET and watch it then. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. Definitely would recommend y'all watching it. Of course. Great movie. So with that being said, give me a like. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.